I have so much. And so some of that stuff kind of taints it a bit. And you kind of look around and you're like, I want to look at my collection and be excited. I don't want to look at my collection and think about, oh, there's bickering going on that helped produce that thing. And it's not to say that there isn't art behind the toys I collect, but this I feel like is a good reflection of kind of the whole art toy aspect, where it truly is an artist's work being reflected into a 3D form. This is crazy. I can't believe that you predicted that, but there's a little green. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is fun. So you won't get to hear me react like as I look at this. Ah!
Hey toy family, welcome to another edition of the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham.
I'm Teresa Hawkins.
And hey George, how's it going?
Oh wait, he's not there.
What happened to George? We were all set. We even waited 2 hours past our record time. It's like almost midnight for you. It's almost 9 o'clock for me. And he's not answering our texts.
I know. Well, and it's like, I was like, I can be a little flexible. I'll stay up a little late. And it's like, dude, man.
I'm a little concerned because he wasn't answering. Well, you guys were texting, kind of wondering when he's going to get home. And I think he might have been texting while driving. So the fact that he hasn't responded an hour now is getting a little concerning. I
know. I hope he was safe. I felt bad even texting him while he was driving. I should have probably stopped, but he was replying. I'm like, come on. Well, so it's like, George, at least reply and tell me you're like alive.
Don't text and drive, people. Please, George, be healthy and well. I don't want the wrath of Jess coming in after us if something happened.
I know. Well, I have a feeling Jess is part of the reason for George's absence. Jess.
He gets home and she's like, honey, put your phone down. Spend time with me. All smothering.
With me on the couch.
Do you think she's a smothering type? I don't know. I don't know.
They're very lovey-dovey.
They are. Seems. Yeah, they're very. They're in that fiancé stage too, where you're overly lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
10 years from now, he'll walk in the door and be like, babe, I gotta go record. See ya. But right now, he's walking in the door and be like, hey, you want to cook together? Yeah. I'll chop the vegetables and you saute the chicken, and then afterwards we can feed each other.
Yeah, and then we'll go sit on the couch and we'll put on that Netflix show and watch the next episode.
And during the episode, would you mind? I know you've had a hard day. Can I scratch your back or your head or give you a massage the entire episode? Because I just love you. I laugh because I've been there. That was me at the beginning of every relationship.
I get it. It's okay, George, Jess. You're allowed to love each other, but still, come on. Podcast time. And it's weird because I feel like it's been forever, Gary. Has it been forever since, I feel like maybe we just have been really bad this season and, skipping weeks, but it feels like we haven't done this in a while.
You mean the three of us on an episode?
Yeah, maybe it was just a couple weeks ago, but it feels like the gaps between our chatting are longer than they used to be.
Well, we did take a few weeks off just because scheduling issues and stuff like that. And then you had the 2 weeks off when your parents came in town too. So maybe that's another reason why it feels like that. But now that George isn't here, let's catch up. So I know last week you were meeting up with Horrible Adorables just out in Ohio, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. I totally blanked. See, I can't even remember the things I did last weekend. I clearly have just forgetful brain. But yeah, no. So Jordan from Horrible Adorables and I decided to split a case of the Seder Rories made by Solji. I hope I'm saying her name right, and I apologize if I'm not. But back, I think in February, she was doing a pre-order, and we were chatting. We were like, oh, we really want these, but I don't really need 12. And then we were talking about how we still like one of each character. And so we thought, hey, this would be a perfect case to split, because it's not like there's a lot of variation between the characters. It's really just colors. So it seemed like it'd be a pretty easy case to split up. But so anyway, I think we pre-ordered it in February and she got it in March. And so we kept talking about doing a meetup because we knew the next time we wouldn't hang out would be till 5 Point, and we didn't want to wait that long. But we also thought it'd be fun to open it together. And so Jordan was super sweet and just kind of hung on to it. I don't know how she did it because I would have wanted to rip into that baby the second it came in. But yeah, so we finally coordinated a meetup and we met about, halfway between us in Dayton, Ohio, and hung out. And Chris came, and we also saw Travis from Urban Vinyl Daily, and I got to bring Bailey along and
Nice.
split the case and hung out and chat toys. It was really fun.
It looked like it. I was a little jealous I wasn't there. You guys do have phones. You could FaceTime me or Google Hangouts, and we can, actually hang out and, see each other again. But I'll see you guys in a few weeks at 5 Points Fest.
Can you believe, Gary, it's less than a month away now?
I know. It really does feel like not too long ago we were at Designer Con, and now it's in a couple of weeks we'll be in New York for 5 Points Fest. So time's flying.
It feels so like I remember joking at work. January felt like the longest month ever. And then now it's May. And I'm like, where? What happened?
I don't know where the time's going. And actually,
Right.
Teresa, so you mentioned the 5 Points Fest. So the night before 5 Points Fest is the Designer Toy Awards. And this week we received some great news so they released the short list of finalists for all the categories for the Designer Toy Awards. And so I'm happy to say that we made the finalist list for Best Media Outlet, which is pretty awesome. So thank you everyone who helped nominate us and get us recognized in that category. And congratulations to all the finalists in the category. If it wasn't for all of you being so passionate about spreading the news and the word about designer toys, I mean, who knows where designer toys would be. So you guys make a large impact on the toy scene. So congrats to everyone nominated and best of luck to you at the awards. And Teresa, also congrats to you and George.
Yeah, you too, Gary. I'm excited for us. I'm excited for anyone. I mean, it's always exciting to see the finalist list. It means it's getting closer to DTAs and 5 Points and all that kind of stuff. So it was exciting to see the short lists, and I'm very curious to see who's gonna win this year.
In our category, no offense to anyone else in the category. You should all be proud, and we've all done a great job. But really, let's be honest with ourselves. I think all of us in the category feel like it's really just between the two blogs, Spanky Stokes and the Toy Chronicle. That's who's won it the past 5-6 years, just exchanging it back and forth, giving each other black eyes, going after votes and stuff like that. So, I mean, come on. We all have our place in the category, but I really don't see anyone else taking it.
Yes.
It just seems like they're just so dominant in this category.
Yes.
So have at it, boys. Good luck.
Blog versus blog. Yes. It's always interesting when the list goes up and then you see on social media all the different approaches people take. You get the people, obviously, like, people excited, saying thank you for picking me, all that kind of stuff, which is great. But then you see, like, the gloves come out between Spanky and Toy Chronicle where they're posting all sorts of stuff. And I know they say they're not a rivalry, but they totally are.
No, they definitely are. They've been going at it back and forth for the past 5-6 years. They've just been exchanging it and giving each other black eyes and going hard after votes. We've all seen it. And I think it's been fun to watch. And the only other category I can think of where has a lot of the same repeat people in the same category, it would be maybe the toy stores have it going on. But if they have a rivalry going on in the toy store categories, it's been unspoken. Then they've all been pretty quiet. But I feel like Spanky Stokes and the Toy Chronicle a little more vocal and really, really wanting that award, which I understand because earning that award would just solidify all the hard work that you did this year and just know that you've been supported and it's been acknowledged.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would hope that both Spanky and Toy Chronicle realize that their blogs are appreciated.
Oh, they know that. They know that 10 times over. We love you guys. It's just, and we also enjoy our rivalry too. Here's the thing, Teresa. They've been, like I said, they've been going out for 5-6 years. They've really dominated that category. It's just, and I think that's why that rivalry is there. When you got two people who just kind of exchange it back and forth, that's what happens, and that's what happens in sports, and I think that's what's happening in Designer Toy Awards. And outside of Toys Are Evil winning it that first year, they've had it going on. I think Spanky Stokes won it for 3 years in a row after Toys Are Evil, and then their very first year out of the gate, the Toy Chronicle took it away from Spanky Stokes, which was a surprise, and then Spanky Stokes took it back the next year, and then I think I don't know, I had to look it up, but I think the Toy Chronicle might have won back-to-back years, so that's why the rivalry, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
But talking about asking for votes, I think it's totally fine asking for votes. It just all depends how you go about it, I think. Because there's definitely been cases where I've seen things where I don't know if it's the wording, but sometimes things just come across as like arrogant or selfish. And when I see those, I almost get instantly turned off and rubbed the wrong way and don't want to give those people a vote.
I think it's sometimes the approach. I completely get, making a post, thanking those for being on the list, saying, hey, if you love my work, I'd love your vote, kind of a thing. Doesn't bother me at all. Like, none of that bothers me. What gets me, like, what really rubs me the wrong way is when, like, people take it way too far and try to, like, essentially buy votes. Like,
Bribing, like bribery for votes, sort of thing.
did you see what Toy Tokyo did?
I did.
Okay, so for those that may not have seen, on Instagram, Toy Tokyo decided to post a contest that if you went in and voted for them, you could have a chance to win a gift certificate for their store.
Yeah, and that was a pretty generous gift certificate too. I mean, it was $50. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it just really rubs me the wrong way. It's so cringeworthy because, like, if you feel like you're so desperate to win a category that you feel like you need to buy people's votes to have a chance, like, should you even be winning? Like,
I know. Why would you want to win that way? I think
that too. Yeah.
I just can't imagine feeling nearly as rewarding to winning the award after you just didn't do anything like that, and then just
Right.
your fan base and your collectors and whatever else, and you just see what happens and you end up winning the award. That would be far more rewarding than knowing or thinking that maybe you bought some votes.
Right. I completely agree. I mean, I feel like to know that the community and your peers, like from a panel perspective, decided that you were the one worthy of that year, that to me is so much more satisfying than saying, yeah, we ended up winning because we bought out all our votes. Like, that's just not cool.
And it's not fair to everyone else in that category. You're kind of like
Right.
disrespecting them, I think, by stealing. Because, there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of money for collecting and buying toys. And the chance to win that $50 gift certificate, that's huge. So I can see where that would definitely urge people to show that they voted for them.
Yeah, it just irks me. I don't know. And
Here's what I don't understand about though, Teresa. How, or maybe I didn't look at the rules closely enough, but how can they prove that they voted for that? Are they taking like
right.
like a screenshot of it saying I voted or something, or are they just taking
that's
them at their word?
That's a good point because I'm pretty sure in their post it said, I'm gonna go look at it, but I'm pretty sure it just said, "Hey, go out and vote," and then once you've done it, oh, I can't find there. It's like an underscore in their name. There it is. Okay, so it said, "We're giving away a $50 gift certificate. Vote for us using the link in our bio, and then comment below voted to be selected." So, I mean, I guess I could literally just go write voted.
Yeah, there's no proof needed.
But
Why not?
I mean, I think the other thing too, and I mean, it's not even a knock on Funko, but Toy Tokyo is a company that has a large Funko collector base.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But the other thing that irks me slightly is I just have this feeling that there's all these people who don't even care about designer toys, don't even know what this is, but being a collector of Funko and wanting to buy Toy Tokyo merchandise could enter.
No, that's a
So,
great
like,
point. I didn't even think about
there's
that.
you know what I mean? There's people out there who might just be voting who don't even know what they're voting for. And that's the other thing that's just like, come on. I don't know. It just, I don't know. Just,
I mean, I'm with you. It feels a little weird. It feels a little bribery, and it's not a precedent you want to set. Let's say they do win. Does that now set the precedent for that's what you got to do to win next year? And I don't see a lot of the stores doing it, but and maybe it's one of those things too that the store category has been predominantly Rotofuji and My
yeah.
Plastic Hearts won a couple times, and then 1 year Playhouse blew everyone's minds when they won. Like I was not familiar with them at all. Like after that night they won,
Right.
I actually went back to the hotel room and like looked them up. I'm like, who is this store that just seemingly just came out of nowhere. It was now we all know who they are, and maybe we know a lot more about them because they won that award. So maybe the awards can carry clout, and it's nice to be able to say that you're the best of something. And it's not just designer toy scene that kind of does the occasional asking for votes or bribing for votes or whatever you want to say. You see it in the magazines, like we have the best of Phoenix. We got boutiques and fast food restaurants and theaters all wanting that best of thing. So when readers see it, they want to go check out the best of. So I get it. I understand why people really want these awards and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people take issue with fan voting, but it's always controversial every year. But I think it's here to stay, and we need to have it. It's kind of fun to have.
Yeah, because I'll say there's even some panel voted ones that I wish we as fans could vote on. So I get it, but at the same time, I'm also like, I want to vote for these too. So I see both sides of it. But I mean, they let us vote on some, which is great. And by the time this comes out, I think voting will be over. So
I know we don't even get to just kind of ask and talk for votes on our own platform.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, she's right. It was a short window. It was only about a 5 or 6 day voting window. So by the time you're hearing this, fan voting is closed. Yeah. But there is still something that you can do for Designer Toy Awards. The Marsham Toy Hour, we've set up the 3rd annual prediction pool for the Designer Toy Awards. So I will provide the link for that in our show notes, or you can head on over to the Marsham Toy Hour group page on Facebook, and the link will be provided there. And what this is you're just trying to predict who you think is going to win the Designer Toy Awards. Not who you want to win, but you predict is going to win. 2 totally different things. And it's a simple multiple choice form. All you do is you just go to the link, add your name, and away you go. Just start filling away, clicking a little bubble, thinking who you're gonna think's gonna win that category. It's a fun thing to do. And so at the end of this, once all the winners are announced, I'll go through everyone's selections, and whoever has the most is going to be declared the winner on the episode after the awards, and we'll put together a nice prize package.
Get 50 million pennants.
Well, maybe 10. Maybe like 10 pennants.
Okay, 10. But yeah, I think it's fun. I always enjoy this poll. I'm going to obviously take it because I think it's fun to think about who I think the panel's going to pick or the fans are going to pick. So, and it's always, obviously, I feel like I'm a oddball. When I look at a lot of these categories and some of the things in it, I'm like, man, none of these are things that I would personally maybe collect. But it's always fun to think about what the scene would pick. So yeah,
I do not envy the committee for having to narrow down all probably hundreds and hundreds of nominees down to 9 or 12 toys or people for each category. I mean, I heard they were in deliberations for like 3 weeks trying to narrow this stuff down. So hats off to everyone that was on the panel, and thank you for devoting your time to do these awards for us.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Teresa, I'm curious. So you talk about how sometimes you don't like seeing the toy drama and stuff like that. So I'm curious. You're a collector, and you've told me before that you don't like it actually affects you when you see the toy drama. And I know there's toy drama not just in just toys and in general, but amongst collectors and stuff there can be drama too if someone flippers or whatever. So does that affect you as far as wanting to collect stuff?
It does. I feel like before this podcast, maybe I didn't see it as much. Maybe I was more like oblivious and just kind of in my little collector world. Or maybe it's just more rampant than it used to be. I feel like I see it more often. And yeah, I mean, it bums me out. Like, I get that there's, complexities to producing and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's toys. Like, I want it to be fun and everyone to be friends and like each other. And so when I see all this, he said, she said, blame stole, someone stole my idea, or X did this or X did that. It's just like, come on now. Like, it just makes me, do I even want to be a part of this scene? Like, this community.
That's not good.
I know.
If we don't have you buying stuff, we're going to be in another toy recession. I'm serious. You buy a lot of stuff.
Keeping the scene alive.
Every 3 days, you got a new package arriving at your doorstep.
I know. It's hard. I have so much, and so some of that stuff kind of taints it a bit. I want to look at my collection and be excited. I don't want to look at my collection and think about, oh, there's like bickering going on that helped produce that thing, or like.
I getcha.
I don't know. I just kind of wish. I just wish the dirty laundry wasn't aired so freely sometimes. Like, I know I'm seeing it, so if I'm seeing it, other people probably are too. And I get that things probably aren't perfect, but I don't know, maybe keep it behind closed doors a little bit more because I don't know. I think it's just going to hurt the community, if anything. Let's all be, I don't know,
I get it. No,
happy.
we can be our own worst enemy sometimes. It doesn't always help, but I don't know. Sometimes you just get passionate about something. You just kind of want to, get it
Voice
out.
it.
Just kind of voice it and get it out there. But I've been a victim of it. I've done it. I fucked up. So but I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
You have personally posted
Uh,
a rant?
No, I wouldn't say it was a rant or anything like. I've definitely been accused of getting on my soapbox a little bit, and maybe I did. It actually, but the one that I can think of, it was actually DTA related and very similar to what we've already mentioned, and it's just one of those things. Like by the time I realized the error of my ways, it was too late, and that's the funny thing about the toy scene or probably anything. Like you post something, there's no control Z. You can't
Undo.
you can't undo, and people are so quick to take screenshots and share it around the community, and you're dead in the water in the first 10 minutes if you don't delete that thing. So I did end up deleting it the next day, but it didn't really matter. The damage had been done. Social media is tricky, and especially in the written word. So,
Right.
Suggestion to people out there, definitely don't post in the heat of the moment. Kind of wait on it and then think about it. And but that sort of stuff. I mean, it definitely happens, and hopefully that sort of stuff doesn't turn you off to collecting, Teresa, because that'd be a shame.
Yeah. It's just as collectors and fans, we want to be hyped. We want to be excited for next releases and what artists are making and what's going on in the scenes. I want to hear good things. Like I want to be like, yeah, let's get excited. Yeah, this is coming up. Yeah, and so when like intermittently some of that gets toned down by some kind of conflict or issue going on, it just kind of kills that excitement. I don't know, just twisted,
Yeah.
I would like to be back in my little bliss bubble, Gary, where I'm oblivious to the stuff going on behind the scenes. I just want to collect my cute and be happy.
I know you do, and I feel bad because you mentioned these. You've probably noticed this stuff more since you've joined the show, and that's just because we need to be more aware of what's going on social media and releases and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the reason you're seeing this. But
Yeah.
I'll shelter you more. I'll make sure that maybe I don't forward you stuff anymore. But. So let's move on. So let's mention some of our sponsors. We have some amazing sponsors on the show. First off, for all your designer toys, needs, wants, and desires, we got a couple stores for you. StrangeCatToys.com. If you go to StrangeCatToys.com, be sure to use the Marsham Toy Hour code SoTeresa, and you will receive 10% off your entire order. That is SoTheresa, and it's all one word, no space between So and Teresa. Also, there's 3DRetro.com. 3D Retro also has a beautiful brick and mortar location out there in Southern California. So if you're out in that area, be sure to check that out. And for all your designer toy news, be sure to like and follow SpankyStoke.com and the ToyChronicle.com. If you like your news on the go and you're a big fan of apps, be sure to download the Toy Chronicle app at any one of your favorite application stores. Okay? All right, Teresa, I'm lost. What should we talk about next?
Well, the other thing that so related to DTAs, so they announced the list up for the finalists. They also, though, announced the DTA Dunny show, which I'm really excited about. So I think last year being that the DTAs and 5 points was all kind of like in flux and they're kind of readjusting everything. It was a little different last year, but this year they're actually going to have the DTA Dunny show on display and first available at 5 points, which I think is super exciting, especially since I'm going, but also because it's like one of those shows I probably would have never able to see in person typically.
Right.
Plus, I think it's cool that they're making the pieces first available on the floor of 5 points. So if you're there at the show, you're going to have the first chance to buy it. And then later they're going to post it online on the Clutter Magazine web store, offering first to the preview list. So if you're not signed up for the preview list and you're interested, definitely do that. But I'm excited. So I'm actually going to get to see the DTA Dunny Custom Show in person.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for the show. And I think this is the 4th annual designer DTA Dunny show. And I love that it's going to be at 5 Points Fest here. Now that Clutter has their own show, I think that it just makes more sense to have it there. Previously, the first 2 years it was held at the Clutter Gallery, which is great. I mean, that's their gallery. But it's in Beacon, New York, so it's not like we can all get there. And the third year it was held at New York Comic Con, so a lot more eyeballs on it when it was at New York Comic Con. But now being at 5 Points Fest, I think it's going to be great. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all the pieces. So, and if you're looking forward to buying the pieces, I mean, I really think the only way that you're going to be able to buy these pieces and get the ones that you want is if you buy the VIP pass for 5 Points Fest. So if you want that, head on over to 5pointsfest.com and be sure to pick it up.
Yep. The other thing I think is kind of cool, and I think this is a first, Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, but they said that there's going to be, along with 8-inch and 20-inch Dunny Customs, there's actually going to be 5-inch ones. Is that a first for this year, to do 5-inch Dunny Customs?
Let me think. I'm not, Igor Ventura, right? I know every single thing about Dunnies, but I think you're right. I don't recall seeing a 5-inch at last year's event.
I don't think they did it last year. I'm pretty sure last year it was just the 8 and the 20. So now this year it's going to have, I think, I could be wrong, but I think the 5-inch Dunny is a new addition.
No, I think you're right. That sounds right.
But I think it's exciting that it's going to be a mix of the 5-inch, 8-inch, and 20-inch Dunnies. So there's going to be variety. The other thing that I think is really interesting is they released the list of all the participating artists. And I'm not going to read through all of those. You could go check it out on, Clutter's Instagram. They have all that information out there. But when I read through that list, Gary, there were a lot of names, like a lot of new names in there, a lot of new artists I wasn't familiar with.
Same for me. I mean, which I think is great. I think that's really great to introduce new blood. I think a lot of them have been around. Maybe I just haven't, recognized their work, or they're coming from a different field or something like that. But yeah, I would say maybe 40% of the list I am not really familiar with, and I have to research up on them.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. I love it because I'm always for bringing new artists into the scene or giving them a chance to show their work, because I did look up a few names. It seemed like there were a lot of fine artists, so maybe people who haven't even done a custom before looking to apply their style to a Dunny. So I'm excited. I think it'll be fun to see some newer artists take a stab at creating a Dunny. But one artist in particular that I'm really excited about, one of the names on the list is Kendra's Customs. And she actually, in the to be not named Waffle Group, she would promote some of her stuff there, but her stuff is so good. And I feel like she blew up. She was doing a lot of shoe-based customs. So like hand painting, like Nike shoes or whatever. And I'm so not a shoe person, so I'm probably totally failing at explaining the custom shoe scene, but she decided to kind of switch gears and tackle some toys, and her work and her style is so good. I'm so excited for her. So
yeah, it's funny that you mentioned her, because that's also where I discovered her work was on the Waffle Group. She was waffling off some of her customs, and her work's great. I went to her website, and it's kind of like what you said. She mainly customizes like wearable art, so she paints handbags and shoes and stuff like that. And now she's transitioning over to doing more art toys. So yeah, it's cool seeing some new blood transitioning over and doing art toys. And so with that lineup, like I said, I'm not familiar with a lot of people in the lineup, so I'm going to be introduced to a lot of new artists, as well as having high expectations for the ones that I am familiar with.
And it's exciting because, some of the artists we've had on the show before in the list, we've got Kyle Kawan, Serious Silly K, so we've got some podcast friends getting grabbed. American Gross, who's, Jesus.
Josh Gimberg, one half of Clutter.
Yeah, so having had him on a previous episode, I didn't realize he was the one doing all those double casted resin Dunnies.
The Octo Dunnies?
I'm very curious if he's going to do like a really large cast custom.
Oh, you mean like a 20-inch one?
Yeah, could you imagine like a giant double cast 20-inch or something? I don't know. I'm really curious to see if that's
a good guess. I think that's a good guess.
It could be. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is something similar to that, but I don't know. Good mix of people. I think people will be happy. It seems like it's a good variety of styles. So
no, it's going to be a great show. I wouldn't be surprised if in next year's DTAs we're going to see some of these in the best custom category too.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of DTAs, Teresa, I know this year you spent several hours looking up. You wanted to make sure, because I think in years past you haven't exactly nominated, and this year you were like, damn it, there was not enough cute last year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend the hours and the time, and you nominated people. So I'm curious, out of everyone that you nominated and all the things you did put forth for nomination, how much of that did make the final cut?
Not very much, Gary.
Okay, how many pieces do you think you submitted for nomination?
Let's open my folder. So I have a
folder.
Okay, so let me for those that have never nominated, okay? So as a non-nominator coming in to be a nominator, the process involves, you have to do it individually. So every single nomination is a new form you have to click and open. But the piece that was the most difficult is you are supposed to upload a photo, which I think is very weird and difficult. So, like, I, being the person I am, felt like I needed to find a good photo, or I had to hunt down a photo of this piece that was in my head and, like, figure out what the real name of it was. It was work, Gary. It was hard, but, like...
I've done it. I know, yeah.
So, anyway, I have this folder on my computer where I was pulling in photos of all the pieces I wanted to nominate. God darn it. This is making me mad because I'm seeing all the things that did not make it in the list. It makes me sad.
I like when you get mad because you say words like, gosh darn it. So foul.
I'm so mad. But, gosh, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like I want to go make my own award show called like the That's So Teresa, and and it's just literally only cute stuff. Like
everything in every category would be 2 dots for eyes and a little smiley face. Like every toy would look the same, and they would all be under 3 inches tall.
Yeah, but of what I nominated, I think I did nominate the Tokidoki Sushi Cars.
Okay, that made it.
Series. So that made it. I think the only other things that made it were in the non-plastic category. I nominated Amanda Louise's Spade piece.
Okay.
I believe I nominated I'm not even going to attempt to read its name, but the Adorable's giant whale.
The whale, yeah, that's awesome.
Your Whooper Looper car, I know I submitted that. So, but like I'm pretty sure those non-plastic items and that mini series is it. Which it's fine, I guess. It's fine. It's frustrating. Like for example, I'm a huge Chris Raniak fan, and I felt like he made a lot of awesome work last year, and it's just frustrating to not see him get any recognition. I feel like he deserves it. So hopefully he knows he's loved, obviously, by his fans and won't stop doing awesome work because he wasn't included in the list. But I know it's hard too. We were talking about, it's not like everyone can get named. There's a big scene with a lot of different people out there. So, but yeah, so a few got in, but a few didn't. Well, a lot didn't, but that's okay, I guess. So I'll just make
not a whole lot of cute.
No, not a whole lot of cute.
I think the what category? The minifigure series. That's the one that was strongest on the cute stuff, I think.
I do have to say, I remember last year we felt like some of the things in the miniseries weren't necessarily miniseries. Actually felt like a miniseries. I do feel like everything in the category seems to be better aligned with what I would think of as a miniseries. So I feel better about that. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I kind of have to just expect it, I think, at this point, that maybe what I collect, maybe I'm like a weird oddball on the scene. And like,
maybe we need to get you on the panel. How about that? We'll get you on the committee, and you can be in deliberations for 3 weeks.
I don't know. I don't know if I want that either. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard when you spend time but yeah, and I have to say, so we as nominators have to spend time to upload photos, which I guess is a way to help curate what they post on the site. But I have to say, one thing that I find really difficult, at least for the fan vote categories, is when I go to look at Artist of the Year, for example, some of them just show a picture of the artist, but that does nothing for me because I may not know them very well, and I need to see the toys or the work they made to be like, oh yeah, that piece was made or this piece was made. Right. And so I don't know if it's just because the people nominating didn't provide good photos or what, but I feel like it would help. I don't know if there's a way to make that process better, but it would definitely help to show their work.
Here's what I can tell you: when you get the email that tells you that you've been nominated for or you made the finalist cut, they do say for like the next week if you want to provide a better photo of yourself or your toy or whatever, because whoever submitted for you might not have chosen the best representation of your work. So they do allow that opportunity for you to then resubmit a better image or maybe cut out the background or whatever. So they do allow that for the finalists.
Yeah. I mean, there are a few in here. Like, obviously, it allows for multi-photo, so there's a few of the artists that do allow you to kind of scroll through and see some of their work, which I think is helpful. So I don't know. I guess I could say is to the artists out there, if you get nominated as a fan coming in to vote, it helps to see examples of your work. So
next year, you'll see someone like with a headshot with like a halo of the toys they produced that year.
yeah. Yeah, Photoshop some beautiful collage.
Yeah, they didn't submit that themselves at all, which I think is fine. Nominating, like I did not nominate anything myself this year. Now, actually, I will admit it here on the show. Like the thing that I was absolutely most proud of producing last year did not make finalists, and I'm not saying that I think I feel it should, but I don't know. I think it was a good piece and it didn't make it. And
What piece was it, Gary?
So it was like this Yeti shelf. I made it for the Mothership Galleries. They have the show that they do every year called the Yeti Mageddon, Yeti Mageddon. Sorry. And it's just like the head of a Yeti, and then have the two humongous antlers on it. It's kind of like the Autumn Stag shelf in the fact that I designed it to be
I remember
showcase
that.
minifigures, and you had the tree swing as well. But instead of a swing, it was more of like a fallen tree and had some snow on it and stuff. So I was just really proud of that piece, and I'm not saying by any means that have to make a finalist or even be nominated, but I thought if there was a piece that I did last year to show up as a finalist, I thought it probably would have been that one, just because I was really proud of that one.
It's so funny because you mentioning it, like I remember that, but it feels like so long ago. I didn't even realize that was part of part of last year. That's a bummer.
Well, that's what makes nominating hard, because you can't remember a lot of the stuff that came out that far ago. Like that piece came out in January, and I think the nomination period is 15, 16 months later, and that's a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's one reason that people should be self-nominating themselves, because you can't rely on collectors and fans to remember everything that was that far back. I mean, stuff that's that old is kind of out of memory a little bit, and so yeah, I didn't self-nominate it, and no one else probably did either for that reason, and it happens.
Man, next year, Gary, get on it. If you have a piece you think is deserving,
Don't
you. Be all shy. Get it out.
No, I didn't. I procrastinated is what happened. I did think about self-nominating it, and I just didn't do it. And I know a lot of people frown upon self-nominating, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All you're doing is just putting your stuff forth in front of the committee to then narrow it down to a finalist list. You're saving them the time, or a fan, or whoever else. You're just saving someone time and ensuring that your stuff is in front of their eyeballs. And I didn't do that this year, so that's on me for it not having the chance. And who knows? Maybe someone did, nominate it, and the panelists decided, hey, there's just better pieces. I mean, that's a great chance too. So I mean, I'm not upset about it at all. I was just thinking about what I produced last year, and I think that's the piece I was by far most proud of.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but I mean, I loved that Yeti shelf. I just, in my head, that feels so long ago. I wouldn't have even have thought that it was eligible. So it's hard.
It's tough.
But yeah, but I do have to say, there is another certain someone that got a nominee, but I'm partial to not even mention it because he ditched us tonight. But we'll be nice, George. But yeah, no, they actually added. So we talked about the best production sculpt category they added this year, and Mr. George Gaspar got added to the finalist list for his dad bod deadbeat sculpt. So,
Scott Tollison's design, right?
Yeah. So congratulations, George.
And I think it's also in another category, isn't it? It's in two categories.
Let's see. So George is in the finalist list for best production sculpt. Probably the first time I said that word on.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
No, not this word in
Oh,
general. I
okay,
mean on the
on the
podcast.
podcast. Okay.
Although boobies is a more preferred word for my taste, but best resin maybe. Let's see,
No,
maybe soft vinyl.
maybe. No, I know that when I was filling out the prediction poll, he had the Dead Mod Deadbeat was in two categories. Oh, well, you mentioned best resin, so I know that he did the best unlicensed. He sculpted Scott C's Ghostbuster bootleg, so he sculpted that one too. But what was the other one? Was it Toy of the Year panel?
No, it's not there. Is it under fan maybe?
Fan. Toy of the Year and fan voted. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay. I still can't get over its little wee, little dad bod deadbeat.
Personally, I never saw that as a wee wee. I just saw it as the end of the route. But
No, it's totally.
you got a little, a penile fetish, Teresa.
No, I don't have a fetish. I have an anti-fetish. That's why when I see it, I'm like, ah.
I'm pretty disappointed George didn't show up because we did, most of our prep that we did for this episode was for those two games. One for George and then one for Jess to play at the end. And, I thought that'd be a lot of fun. And for the listeners, what it was is one was like a Freaky Friday role reversal thing. So I was going to show Teresa and George both an image, and they would have to describe it as each other. So Teresa would have to describe it how she thought George would describe it, and vice versa, George as Teresa. So I thought that'd be a lot of fun. But at the same time, we were kind of talking about how it might be a total fail too.
I know it would have been fun to try. That would have been funny to be George and George to be me. I think I don't know how much fun I'd have being George, but I would get a kick out of listening to George try to review a toy like me.
I'm just so excited about this toy. It's just so cute and adorable. And oh my gosh, look at his teeny tiny little man parts. Yee, squeeze, so cute.
Yeah.
George would do a much better job, I'm sure.
I mean, it would, yes, because I know I have my own unique way of discussing toys, so that would have been funny for me. But another day, I guess.
Another day.
We'll save it. That's worthy. I don't know. I guess you all tell us if you think that'd be funny, but we'll stick it out.
Here's the twist I was going to go with it, though. So I was going to pick the image, and I was going to show you guys on spot. I was just going to send you a link and say, go, describe it how Teresa would. And with you, it was a little more tricky because I couldn't decide whether to pick something more sexual and raunchy and try to get him to describe it in a very G way, or pick something super cute and let him describe it in your squeaky, super cutie, oh my god, I'm so excited, this is super cute and it's super adorable sort of way.
Both sound really good.
So maybe I'll give him two.
We'll just make him do the segment on his own. That's his punishment.
And then I spent several hours developing a fun game for Jess, and then she's not showing up either.
I know, but I do like that game, and we're going to save it and do it another time because that'll be fun.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they're done having sex now, so maybe he'll answer his text.
Well, it's funny because he did reply now.
Oh, he did reply back to you.
Okay, he's a liar, though, because he texted, almost done here, which don't know what he's doing, but...
Sex.
Stop saying sex.
Coitus. Humping. Aggressive
no,
cuddling.
That's worse. Oh, Jesus. Doing the deed. Maybe doing the deed.
The deed. That's way worse than anything I just said.
No, it's not.
You make it sound like a chore.
I don't know. Maybe it is sometimes. But he said, almost done here. I'll try to pop in, but I'll text first. And I've yet to receive that text. And that was, let's see, almost 40 minutes ago. So
okay,
I think at this point we've lost George as an option for us.
And this is why we should not be best media outlet. We can't get our shit together.
Shush! Don't say that, Carrie. I think the fact that we are honest and true to ourselves is a reason we should get votes. We are ourselves.
It's true.
I am totally me on this show, and you're totally you. So
I might downplay myself a little bit.
Okay, well, take that out. Make people think that we're awesomely, or what's the word? What's the word when you're yourself? Shoot.
What do you mean?
Oh,
That's just you're just being yourself. I am not the one to ask about the English language, Teresa.
Let's just cut all this out because this is just going nowhere.
So,
But
should we do some leaks and sneak peeks?
yeah, sure. Well, okay. I actually can I start?
Please do.
And I just slammed on my couch and scared Bailey. I'm sorry, baby. Yes, let's do some leaks. But my leaks are more just wanting to ask you about your leaks, if that's okay.
Well, I took a leak about 20 minutes before we started the show. But they're good,
No.
good flow. Everything's
Oh my
good.
God, Gary Ham.
You want me to be more like myself? There you go.
Yeah, I think I'd take that back.
Take it back? Okay. I'll dial it back.
Well, so it isn't even really that new or recent, but you actually helped leak it, but then we never got any info, so I want you to talk about it. But
Okay.
it looks like you're working with Pauber on a mini Whooper Looper, and you posted a month ago a photo of a prototype. What show was that at? That Pauber was at that leaked it.
I think it was the Shanghai Toy Show.
Yeah, the Shanghai, STS. So you reposted this photo of this prototype of a mini Whooper, and I want to know the deeds. So what's going on with that?
What is going on with that? Well, okay, so here's what I can tell you. So the image that you're talking about, someone who went to the Shanghai Toy Show actually took that and sent it to me. So I didn't even know it existed. So that was the first time I saw it. So I reached out to Jacob Pauber, and he told me that is actually the 3D print.
Okay.
So we haven't gone to vinyl yet. That's not a vinyl testable, so we still have to do test colorways and stuff like that.
Okay.
And can I just speak to the Asia convention? So I just mentioned the Shanghai Toy Show. We gotta stop doing events on the same weekend because Jake was telling me that he wants to release the first colorways of the Mini Whooper Looper at either Singapore Toy Games and Comic Convention, which is STGCC, or the Beijing Toy Show. And those both fall on the same weekend in September. And this is the third time that I know of, because a couple weeks ago it happened with the Shanghai Toy Show and the Shanghai Superfest Toy Show. Those fell on the same weekend. And then this past weekend, there was the Thailand Toy Expo and the Singapore Art Toy Culture fell on the same weekend. So Asia needs to communicate and stop doing conventions on the same weekend. I mean, people would like to be able to attend a couple of these. But anyway, so yeah, that's what it is. Jake said in September we should probably see a colorway. Which convention it releases at, he didn't say, but it should be September. So we're still ways out yet.
No, but hey, this year, that's exciting. And I know some people may not realize, but it looks like that, based on some comments, that the legs articulate.
It does, so it can stand, or you can move the legs and it will sit. It's really cute.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah. It's gonna be
It's right up your alley, Teresa.
It's totally Teresa. I'm excited. All I can say is, Pauber, if you're listening, please don't curse me and make me all sad by making a convention exclusive out of the gate and making a colorway I can't get. Please make it online.
Okay, Teresa. You got to hook up. If you want it, let me know. I know.
But still. For the people.
You got to pay for it. It's not for free.
Okay, well, for all the Gary Ham fans, I'm pleading to you on behalf of all of us.
Okay.
To make it available online. But that makes me really excited. I was hoping it was coming this year. Yay! So that was one.
Oh, wait, there's
more? And then
more?
the second thing, one more. So that was one. But the second thing, I know you've mentioned it, I think, briefly, but the Jasper that you're working on with Marsham Toys,
okay.
Where are we at with that? Any new info?
Actually, I think it's pronounced Jaspar, Teresa.
Oh, is it Jaspar?
No, that's like George Gaspar.
Oh.
No.
I thought it was...
No, I'm not that pretentious. It's spelled with two A's, to pronounce it however you want. Jasper, Jaspar, I don't care. It's just my son's middle name is Jasper, so it was kind of like a tribute to him. So actually, for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, there was this contest that Marsham Toys was hosting. It was called Design a Blank Contest, and so I entered a couple of designs, and one of my designs ended up winning, so that's now being produced. And so I called it the Jasper, and it's kind of like a ghostly platform. So I called it Jasper, also for my kid's middle name, and also because it plays off of Casper the Friendly Ghost a little bit.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, so here's what I can say, and it's just tricky because Aaron's currently at Thailand Toy Expo, or Aaron of Marsham Toys, and the figures, actually the Jasper figures, the first painted prototypes, were supposed to arrive there for him to display at the booth. I have not talked to Aaron, so I don't know that they've actually arrived. We've always heard stories about these things getting stuck in customs and stuff like that. So, and actually, I think I just sort of just divulged some news too. So originally, it's, I mentioned it was a design a blank contest and it's supposed to be produced as a blank, but we liked the platform enough that we decided let's also offer it up as an artist series. So what we're going to do first is release them as an artist series, and then follow that up later with the DIY blank. And there's going to be two different sizes. So the artist series is going to be like standard minifigure size, somewhere between a dunny and a VAG, 2.5 inch to 3 inch size, somewhere in there. And then later the blanks will be about 4 to 5 inches, I think, and those will have easily pull apart arms and legs. So we're recording this on Thursday. I think this is the first day of Thailand Toy Expo. So I'm going to assume at some point over the weekend we might start seeing some photos if Aaron received those prototypes. So I think it's safe to say that we'll see some photos of what the first artist series Jaspers might be looking like.
Cool. So, like, if they're already getting painted samples, it's further along than the mini Whooper, which means we should potentially be able to purchase soon?
I don't know. So the original plan, the design contest ended back in I think November, and they got going pretty fast on the 3D sculpting and all that sort of stuff. So I think the original release, and it might still be possible to release at least one colorway at 5 Points Fest coming up. Geez, it's only 3 weeks away. I mean, I don't know if that's possible because a couple of weeks ago I had some edits to my Hootler Owls, and that's my design. It's a Hootler Owl. There you know, and so I had some edits to that, and the ones that Aaron said he was going to receive in Thailand were the first passes, so they're not the fully revised ones. So I don't know how long the revisions are going to take, but I guess if they get the revisions done fast enough, maybe he could just have them airshipped over to the event. So I don't know, but it's maybe 5 points, maybe, or if not 5 points, probably within several months after that.
Cool, man! 2 Gary Ham toys in a single year. Holy bananas.
It's not the first time it's happened. You act like that's never been done before. I had a good year last year.
I know. It's true. I just like to pick on you because you just don't make enough for us Gary Ham fans. We want more, Gary. We want more.
I will admit, since I started doing the podcast and I've had the 2 kids, yeah, my production has gone down. But I like to think that I'm still producing on a decent level. Every year I have a few releases and stuff. So it's not what it once was, but it's
I know. I just like to pick on you, but I'm excited. I think they're both going to be great.
Well, thanks. I mean, I do want to get back in the wood shop though. I mean, I know I definitely slipped on doing the self-production. So I need to get back in the wood shop and I want to start making more of the like those shelf displays that are good for like the minifigures, like the Yeti shelf I was talking about, or the Autumn Stag, or I have another one that I've always intended to make more of, but it was like a tree man, a symmetrical tree shelf. It's pretty big with lots of room to display stuff, and I have a lot of other ideas for toys and stuff that I just haven't gotten around to. So I'd like to get back in the garage and rev up the saws and get back to it.
Do you need an intern, Gary? Could you want to hire me for a summer and I'll come and be your right-hand woman?
And what would you do?
I don't know. I'd give you a piece of wood. And then I'd sand
Teresa,
that
hand me that piece of wood over there. And you go,
I'd
yes, sir.
You'd cut it and you'd be like, sand that for me. And I'd be like, I got your back, Jack. And I'd just sit there and sand it all pretty. I don't know.
If you want to come out one summer, you're more welcome to do that. It's about 115 degrees here during the summer. I have no AC in the garage. So, yeah, sweat it up. Get to work.
Let's do it. As long as I could bring my little Bailey, I'm sold.
Bring Bailey, you work for a few hours, get sweaty, then we'll hit the water park. We got Wet and Wild right behind the house. That's pretty much where I spend my weekends during the summer, Wet and Wild.
We'll have to see if I can take a sabbatical from work. I'll be like, I'll somehow spin it. I'll be like, this relates to work. I need to go do this. It's like... I don't know.
For some reason, you show back in Kentucky with a tan.
Yeah, they're like, where have you been? Oh, learning about web stuff.
All
Not
right.
not at all been Phoenix making woodwork,
So enough
but no.
about me. Did you see anything this week that you would like to talk about as far as a leak and sneak? A real leak and sneak?
Okay, a real leak and sneak. Those were real, but
They were.
I
They
don't
were.
know, I
They
had
were.
to squeeze them in. I had to squeeze them in. I think, obviously what's I guess hot and heavy right now is Thailand Toy Expo.
I was gonna say George and
Uh,
Jess, but if you want to say
oh
Thailand
my
Toy
God,
Expo, fine.
enough. But as you mentioned, I feel like Asian conventions get to a point where it's like they're constant. But the big one right now, and this is one of those that I'm just like, oh, if only to be there. But Thailand Toy Expo is going on, and I feel like there's just tons and tons of news. So I mean, I feel like I could go on and on about things I've seen that are at TTE, but one thing that I was excited about was Kurobakan, who makes the little Nimbus dogs.
Okay.
And they're making a bunch of different series, but they were working with Eric Noah to create a corgi version. And I've only ever seen like a couple of colorways so far, but they finally did an original Gwen the Corgi colorway, and previewed it at TTE. I think did a pre-sale or like a initial sale there, but it's super cute. Obviously, I love cute stuff. It's like perfectly pudgy and got cute little squat legs. It's got a little tongue peeking out of its mouth, all cute like. But I'm excited because it's not necessarily a TTE exclusive. They did sell it there, but they're also going to sell it online through a couple retailers. If you check out the Kurobokan Instagram, it's Kurobokan. They've got the details and the links of the different sites who are going to sell it. But if you're into cute stuff, if you're into corgis or just dogs, I don't know if I've told you this, Gary. Like I have a little like dog themed toy shelf dedicated to my little fur child,
Mm-hmm.
where I kind of curate dog related things. So I feel like Gwen the Corgi could fit right in. I'm still waiting for a Schnauzer toy.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know why, but Schnauzers just don't get the love that like corgis and Boston Terriers and pugs and French bulldogs. Like it's like
Okay, do you know why? Here's the reason. All those dogs that you just mentioned are kind of goofy looking.
yeah, but Schnauzers are goofy. They have beards.
Okay, here's the other problem. All the other dogs you mentioned kind of have smooth coats or nice silhouettes, and then like a Schnauzer has like furnishings on the legs and the beard, and it just. I'm sure someone could do it to where it would translate into a toy form, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't think you're going to see one.
I'm challenging the toy world to make me an adorable Schnauzer something to add to my shelf. But Gwen the Corgi's adorable. They also made a pink soda edition that was pretty fun. But anyway, I was excited because I love me some dog stuff. I mean, there were, like I said, I could go into a million different things from TTE, but that was one that stood out to me because I've been waiting for a while to see them do the original colorway. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Those are good
How
ones.
about you?
So, same thing, Thailand Toy Expo. This toy is actually going to have the original release there, but it's also going to be releasing statewide last Friday by the time you hear this. So it's called the Mr. It's called the Mr.
Indulgence.
So it's called Mr. Self-Indulgence, and it's a 9-inch vinyl figure, and it's actually a 2-pack. So it comes with the 9-inch Mr. Self-Indulgence, who's he's like a baker, and his head is a full pie, and out of the pie he's cut a slice out of it, and he's holding that slice in his hand, which also contains one of his eyes. So it's very cannibalistic, but also has great personality. It's a lot of fun, very well done. And then it comes with a companion piece. It's a 4-inch figure. It's a couple scoops of ice cream in a bowl, but he's anthropomorphic, and it's great. And so it's being produced by Marsham Toys, and it's going to be $150. And it's actually designed by an artist called Noir, and this is her first designer toy. So a little history on Noir. She is an LA-based painter. She actually started out her career in art, doing background paintings for cartoon companies like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and then around 2006 she went off and started doing her own art, has a very like American mid-century flair to it. It's very cartoony and it has a lot of personality. It looks a lot like the old like 1950s and 60s like cartoon ad campaigns and advertising back then. So it's really great style. I like it a lot. It's very vintage. And if this all sounds good to you, you can pick it up now. It's MarshamToys.com or StrangeCatToys.com. And I think it's going to sell really well. So I would just jump on that now if you can afford it. And I don't think I'm out of school by saying I think this is going to be in several categories at next year's DTAs.
Cool. Yeah, I actually saw that one as well, Gary, and I completely agree. It's a fantastic piece. They've done a really good job translating the artist style into a toy. So, and I can't believe how big it is. 9 inches tall is a big piece of vinyl.
It's pretty, and it's a chunky piece, so I'm sure it looks even bigger than that. And
yeah.
they come together as a set. I could be wrong, but I think if you want, you might be able to get that 4-inch Lil Scoopy separate. I know they come together as a box set, but I think that might come separate. I don't know. I could be talking out of school, but I think maybe. I don't know. But I also want to say that congrats to Marsham Toys on recognizing that Noir's work would translate so beautifully to 3D. It's as if her characters and her paintings have come to life, and her stuff was meant to be a toy. And it's gorgeous, well executed, so congratulations to everyone involved on that. And it's also nice to see that Marsham Toys is also doing like high-end toys based on fine art again too, because when they first broke into the scene with their very first toy production, they released a toy with Jason Lamone, and that was actually based on one of his paintings called The Abominable Snow Cone, and they made a huge splash with that, and it actually went on to win a Designer Toy Award for Toy of the Year, and Mr. Self-Indulgence has that same vibe that Abominable Snow Cone does. I mean, just true art toy, beautifully executed, really high-end and well-done looking with a narrative. So I know Marsham Toys has produced a bunch of toys, but it's kind of exciting to see that they're back to doing some of these high-end fine art toys.
Yeah. It reminds me of the conversation we had with George about, the scene lacking some of the art side of it. Obviously there's going to be toys I like, and I don't care necessarily, like, it's cute and I like it, and it may not be super arty, but I'm into it. And it's not to say that there isn't art behind the toys I collect, but this I feel like is a good reflection of kind of the whole art toy aspect, where it truly is an artist's work being reflected into a 3D form. So I think it's getting back to that idea George kept talking about of wanting to see more art in the toy world again. Yeah. I think what's really cool too is you said it's vinyl, but like I don't know if it's the way that it's been produced, but it almost has like I want to say porcelain. Like it the paint effects on it are so well done that I don't even almost see of it as being vinyl. Does that make sense?
So you're talking about the areas where it's like spot gloss or spot varnish, like the interior of like the cherries inside the pie, and like the eyes are super glossy. Are you talking about that nature of it?
Yeah, I mean, even just the shading, like the shading throughout the face and the body and everything, it elevates it. It's definitely like taken the artist's work and really looked to apply it properly. So I think it's exciting. I know a lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were excited. So bravo to Marsham Toys for getting this baby done, because it's a really cool piece. It's not something that is personally my aesthetic, but I can totally appreciate.
Now, if it was smaller, you don't like large toys. If it was smaller, if this was produced, say, 5 inches or under, would you think of maybe buying it then?
I don't know. I think it's that the theme of it is probably not for me, like the whole cannibalist pie. Is a little, but like the little is it Mr. Scoopy? Am I saying that right?
Little Scoop.
Little Scoop. Oh, Little Scoopy. So like Little Scoopy's cuter to me. So I could see if that were one, I love the idea of it being sold separately. I'm not sure that's really going to happen, but that's cool if it is. But if that were even smaller, I could see me buying like a Little Scoopy to go sit on my shelf.
So if the 4-inch one was, say, like, I don't know, 25 or $30, do you think you would pick that up by itself?
Maybe. I could see doing that.
Okay.
We'll see. I do know so I was kind of perusing around, and I had never heard of this artist before, so I kind of flipped over to their Instagram, was checking it out, and it was kind of cool to look at the people who are really into that artist art and read their comments. Because, like, there's Arstine, right, who has been into toys, and then there's the people who are into the specific artist, seeing that work translated to a toy. So I think it's really fun to read their perspective. And they all seemed really happy. The only comment I saw that was interesting is, so it's based off this painting from 2012, and in that piece, there's another character, and it's like a little girl who's like a waitress or a maid serving a glass of milk to the pie guy. And there was a comment that said, "Oh, I really wish you had made that into a figure as well." So like all the pieces in the painting. So I don't know if Marsham Toys will pick up on that, and maybe there'll be a future extra companion. But overall, it seemed like the followers of this artist were really digging it as well. So it seems like it's a win-win. It's doing well from the toy perspective, doing well from the artist perspective, and I know they're going to do multiple colorways too, right, Gary? They're going to do more than just the cherry?
Yeah, I imagine you're going to see blueberry and whatever flavors of... I don't know about apple. Maybe apple.
Blackberry.
I think you're going to see the things that have a little more color. And I think definitely if they ended up doing Mr. Scoopy by themselves, I can see it being... I don't know if it would have to be... You're probably going to see like a cherry chip and a vanilla and a chocolate and probably a whole bunch of different colorways with that. But maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. Hot off the press, Gary.
Hot off the press. Wait, are you on Instagram right now?
Yeah, so literally an hour ago, Marsham Toys posted, so this is hot off the press. There's a Thailand Toy Expo exclusive Lil Scoopy called the Green Tea Edition. They made 50 of them.
No.
And they are $29 for the saw. Look at this.
Dude, I called it. $29.
This is crazy. I can't believe that you predicted that. But there's a little green. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is fun. So you won't get to hear me react like as I look at this. Neapolitan, bubblegum, blueberry, Rocky Road. Look to be.
Where are you seeing this?
Okay, so on Marsham Toys Instagram, the second photo, and don't worry, we're gonna get back to the first photo because that's another sneak we're gonna get back to.
Okay, wait. So in the same feed with the green tea edition, I swipe left, and we're talking about the second photo. Okay.
Yes. So there's a second photo where you see the box art, and then if you go to the third photo, you see a side of the box where they show different flavors of Lil Scoopy.
There's no third image for me. It's just a blank white. I'm in my office. I have. Oh, okay. It just popped up. So blueberry, bubblegum, Neapolitan.
That's my favorite one.
No, that's one of my favorite flavors. I really like this green tea one, but that Neapolitan, I'm definitely gonna have to pick up.
I think the green tea looks like a little bit. I don't know. I like that it kind of looks like mint chocolate chip a little bit, but I think Neapolitan with the blue cup and the blue nose. Ooh, and this is fun.
You know what? I've never had green mint tea, but I think I want that one too. I just like that shade of green. That shade of green.
And you like nice. how the cherry is glossy?
I do. You know what? I'm also a sucker of toys with gasket lips.
Well, it's totally like Whooper lip.
That's what I mean. I like that gasket. It's not. It's just I like that gasket lip thing.
This is like totally your style. This is like 1,000%.
Oh yeah, this is totally me. I mean, I've always said I love vintage toys. I'm a big fan of classic vintage ad campaigns and stuff like that. So this is totally right up my alley.
I'm kind of okay. His Vanilla Brother is companion for the cherry edition, but there will be so many ice cream flavors. Collect them all. So I'm curious: is the vanilla one?
Wait, Teresa, I just got in my tags. I'm tagged too. Check out Marsham Toys from 15 minutes ago.
I know. We'll get there.
Oh.
We'll get there. I want to finish this first. I have a thought though.
Okay.
We're gonna have to totally edit this. I don't care.
No, this is live. We're not cutting this out. Live
look,
reactions.
okay. So here's my question. So they say that vanilla is the companion to the Mr. Self-Indulgence. So do we think that vanilla is going to be sold separately, or is vanilla only going to be acquired with the larger piece? Because I like the vanilla.
No, it would be smarter to keep that only with the larger piece. Anyone who's willing to spend $150 on a toy should get a unique colorway with that toy that no one else can get individually. That's my personal opinion.
All right.
But who's to say on the other side of that box there's not 4 other colorways? So maybe vanilla or chocolate or...
That's true.
Cookie Mint is on the other side of the box.
All right, Aaron, show us the other sides of the box.
We should probably get Aaron on here when he gets back. Explain some of this stuff.
Well, I think it'd be really fun to get him back on anyway because it was their first time over to TTE. So I want to hear what he thinks. So we should definitely get him on.
Yeah, and I don't know the details. So the other thing I was going to say, what he released 15 minutes ago while we were recording, is he actually released photos of the Jaspar minifigures that we were talking about. And so I don't know the details on this stuff, but he's willing to show the first colorway samples of it. So there you go.
All right, hold on.
I look good. This is my first time seeing them.
All right, yeah. Let me go look at these. Ooh! Oh, man. Gary Ham, I want that blue one.
The blue one?
The blue owl.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a leak on that one. So the blue one is going to be my shop exclusive. I have no idea when that's going to be, but the blue one's going to be my colorway exclusive. And I believe that green one that you're seeing there, that is going to be Marsham Toys, just main release.
I do like the green one too. I like both of them. They look so good, but on it, actually, the Red Riding Hood one with the wolf coming in on the side. That's
Ms. Nawada's, and I love the fact that so it's Little Red Riding Hood, and on the back, she did a great job with the narrative. It is the big bad wolf kind of wrapping around the back side of the figure.
That one's really cool. I actually really like too the use of the dress cape idea. So like she's got the little bow tie and then kind of like the cape, like the way of, I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but it's cool.
Her hoodie, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
her cape with the hood. Yeah,
like a hood.
No, she did a great job with the platform.
Oh yeah, that one's really cool. Oh man, the little alien guy. Oh.
So the other two artists. So there's 4 initially releasing. My designs, which I called Hootler. And the other designs are by Ms. Nawada, Muxie, and Yema Yema.
Cool. I think it's kind of fun because those are probably less known artists. I know they are for me, so I like that they're getting pulled in, and it's good stuff.
And here's something I did not know, so I'm reading it, and it says Jaspar means treasure. I did not know that. Don't
you love how Aaron decided to give your name more meaning than you really gave it?
I wasn't going to go that deep with it, but that's a nice translation.
Okay, help me. Who is the bad guy in Aladdin? Jafar.
Jafar.
The whole time you were saying Jaspar, and I was like, it sounds like you're saying a Disney villain. Like,
no. Come on.
It was bothering me. But oh my gosh, I can't believe they released stuff. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh, Gary, I want your owl. It's so cute. I'm excited. I'm excited about this ice cream guy. I'm into toys. I want to buy toys.
Well, these are the first paint samples, so we still might have some tweaks to make, but that, usually that doesn't take that long. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe these are going to be coming out sooner than later. I have no idea.
I'm excited.
They look good.
Yeah, the other thing I'm trying to figure out, so I went to Marsham Toys because they're talking about Lil Scoopy and being able to buy $29, the lower 4 inches tall. So I'm like, all right, is it online? But I can't find it.
Huh.
So I'll have to keep
I like life breaks like that.
That was fun. Oh my
God. George, the whole George waiting around for 2 hours for George has paid off. We had a live reaction.
He never did text me again, so he's getting shamed.
I don't know. What the hell? Yeah, he's gonna get in trouble when I talk to him next. Like, can you imagine seeing me get George in trouble? He just fucking punched me. Like it would be laughable.
Come on, Gary. This episode's so much more fun because it's just us.
I have no pull with George.
Oh my gosh, the Neapolitan. I keep looking at this little guy. I just want to like pinch his little nose. Okay.
So wait, did you say the green one was a TTE exclusive only?
No, okay. It says,
or is it just releasing there for the first time?
Okay. I will read it verbatim. Our Thailand Toy Expo exclusive is a Lil Scoopy green tea edition of 50. $29 over 4 inches tall. Then it says, it says his vanilla brother is companion of Mr. Self-Indulgence Cherry, but there'll be so many more ice cream flavors, collect them all. It doesn't really, like, my guess is they're selling it at TTE. It's possible they might let all 50 sell.
Well, you would want to. Yeah, you would definitely want to.
So it sounds like you need to shoot Aaron a message and say, yeah.
I might have to do that.
I need me some green tea.
But I want the whole set too. So I'm talking about shelling out almost $200 here. Good thing we got tax returns, huh, Teresa? This is exactly what tax return seasons are for. This is where
you may say that, but tax returns are going to. You know my house woes, my hell house.
I got the same woes, Teresa.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So anyway. Home woes. So
welcome to home ownership.
Home ownership.
Home ownership. I think it's time to wrap this up.
But anyway, tax returns, sadly, not for toy fun, more for home stuff. But still, doesn't mean it matters. We're splurging on Lil Scoopy.
Hey, if it wasn't for tax returns, I would not be seeing you at 5 Points Fest. So.
Well, then yay for tax returns.
That's right.
I'm excited. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be fun. By the time this releases, it'll be, just under 3 weeks. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been to New York a lot of times, but it's always been New York City, Uptown, Manhattan area. I've never been to Brooklyn, so I'm really excited to see, what Brooklyn has to offer.
Yeah, no, cool. Me too. I've never been over to Brooklyn at all. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. I still want to go over to Manhattan for a little bit because I like that. I like walking around Manhattan. I like being a tourist. I'm a rare breed, I guess. I don't know.
I think I'm kind of like you. I know a lot of people love avoiding crowds, but I like being in the center of something. So being at Times Square for me, I think is awesome. I just all the lights and the enthusiasm and the touristiness of it. I just enjoy walking around that area.
Yeah, no, I totally do too. I like being a tourist. I mean, I don't like being the tourist that like walks around in like a fanny pack and giant camera tourist. But the hidden tourist, I try to blend in. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm disappointed George didn't show up. Bummer.
I know.
We will, but you know what? We got 100th anniversary episode coming up
next week. If we keep our act together and start doing weekly again, we can do it. We got this, Gary.
I think we got this.
This was fun. George, we didn't miss you at all. Pish posh.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the listeners thought. They love George. They need a little angst in there.
Here, I'll be George. Oh, that toy's stupid.
The toy sucks. It's smooth and dumb.
Yeah, I don't like food things dumb.
I don't like food. I have a gluten allergy. I can't eat anything good.
Oh my gosh.
I sound nothing like George, but
I'm just worried. I hope this doesn't become like a new
thing where we just bash George every episode?
No, where he just...
No, I'm sure he had a bad day. He's been working long hours and
he just texted...
I'm sure there was a reason.
Okay. Oh, actually, George just texted us. Which, by the way, it is past 1 a.m. my time. So, listeners, I love you. But George just texted, sorry I missed tonight, guys. This has been a shit of a day.
See, there you go.
Poor George.
He's been working long hours, and God knows what happened on his drive home. Probably hit traffic or who knows. So, all right. We miss you, George. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, come back. We'll give you hugs virtually.
All right, so Teresa, where can people find you? Let's wrap this up.
Well, if people want to find me, they can check me out on Instagram. My username is tmhawk24.
All right, I am Gary Ham. You can find me at Gary Ham on Instagram or superham.com. This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We do this every week, not because we have to,
but because we want to.
So until our next transmission, we are going to sign off. Bye.
Bye.